These guys are ridiculous. These guys are...
And we are back with another episode of From the Rafters. Sam and I are here recording on the night of Tuesday, December 14th. And before we get into any Celtics, because it has been about a week since we've recorded our last episode, which was with Andrew Doxey of Celtics Blog. Shout out Andrew. I mean, we got to talk Steph Curry, Sam. That legend. Yes. Absolute legend.
Steph Curry just broke the 3-point record at Madison Square Garden. Early in the game, first quarter, I believe.
Yeah, first quarter.
Driving home, and I saw it on Twitter as I was looking at my phone at the wheel. And I must say, the moment was tainted. I won't say ruined, because I'm not sure you can say ruined for a moment like that. But it was tainted by Brian Anderson being on the commentary.
I saw your tweet. You wanted Kevin Harlan?
Anybody but him. He's just lame. And I don't
Breen,
know.
Kevin Harlan.
Is it just me?
Somebody.
Like, his calls do nothing for me. Yeah. I just think his calls are lackluster. They're just, his voice isn't remarkable. This is like really a dick thing for me to be saying about someone that's like I guess he's probably a team on TNT now, because I guess Harlan's not on this game tonight. But I don't know. There has not been a single moment that I've like rewatched or, watched highlights or whatever, and his commentary has been part of it, and I really thought it was good. I don't know. I just think it's so lame. There are moments that I don't even enjoy rewatching as much because he's on the commentary. I was so excited to hear like the sound that came with Curry making the shot, crowd sound, commentary. Oh, it's just so lame.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way too? Do you think like he's like just unremarkable? Like the moment's just like whatever?
I don't usually have a strong opinion on broadcast teams. Like I don't really get into it as much. I mean, I'm looking at a list of other options, like to see if like something would be like, oh, I'd rather hit him. I like Ian Eagle. I
don't like him either.
I don't mind Eagle. I think he's pretty good. Kevin Harlan says lead play-by-play. I'm just reading a list here right now, so I'll lead you.
Well, Harlan's good. Breen is good.
I like Greg Anthony. I think he's cool.
Well, those are color guys.
Yeah, okay. So you're looking for play-by-play guys?
The guy that's actually like going to be saying what's going
Kevin Harlan is lead play-by-play. Brian Anderson is Tuesday play-by-play, so that's why he's on this game.
But they have it at Tuesday every week because of Thursday Night Football. You're telling me they couldn't have got Harlan to show up for that game?
They could have. They probably could have.
Oh my god.
He might be doing the later game though, because there's a game later tonight.
There's no way that the lead guy would not be on this game. If that's the case, if Harlan is on the late game, whoever is in charge of that at TNT needs a talking to, because that is a massive mistake.
So the TNT game tonight is Suns Blazers.
There's not a chance that
team.
Ian Eagle is on that game. I'm telling you right now.
All right, let's see.
Can you even look that up? Will it show you?
I'm looking. I don't know. I don't know if I could. This is a complete tangent, but we're gonna go. With it anyways.
I hope TNT doesn't have exclusive rights to this, because if they don't, Breen would have been on the Knicks broadcast call of that.
TNT has Tuesdays and Thursdays. They're exclusive Tuesdays and Thursdays at TNT.
But they have not been playing. Oh, okay. So that means that game is not being broadcasted anywhere else.
Which one? Yeah, no. It's
which
just
is
Tuesday.
A travesty.
I'm pretty sure it's just Tuesday and Thursday.
These national commentators are taking a dip. You went from you had both Albert and Harlan, so you really couldn't miss. And on ESPN, you have Breen.
You liked great. Albert? You're a fan of Marv?
Well, when he wasn't forgetting who people were, like before he was like seen.
Okay. Yes, yeah. I got you.
Yeah, he was good calls. And I think maybe it's Anderson talks too much.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't find the list. We'll keep an eye out tonight though, and we'll figure it out. But
I'm sure I'll see a highlight and I'll be
back to Steph Curry. I watched it live. It was stupid, difficult 3-2. It was over Alec Burks, who's not a great defender, but he got a great contest.
Didn't even hit the rim.
No, I think they called a timeout after. Went to the bench. I mean, he was crying. Obviously, you do something like that. Hugged Ray Allen on the sideline. Found his mom afterwards. It was about as much as you could have asked for. He was hyped. He's one of those guys you can't hate, in my opinion. I think
I like Curry. Curry's one of my favorite non-Celtics.
Yeah, unless you're like a diehard LeBron fan, which obviously you're the opposite of, which explains why you love him. Like,
yes.
And even then, if you just watch basketball, it's so tough to hate Steph Curry.
He changed the game.
But yeah,
but
yeah.
Usually when there's any kind of moment like that, they always let it the timeout. The media, the cameras will go out on him or whatever at midcourt.
He's gonna hit 3,000 this season. That's so crazy, man. That's
it
crazy.
It is too bad that that happened tonight instead of Friday, because I'm not so sure Ray Allen has been back since he's retired, and he would have been at the game on Friday.
They did make up, I think. Him and Garnett, I think.
But I'm just curious because I don't even know how I feel about Ray. I still think he should be booed. I'm out on that. I think it's been a very long time, and I guess if Garnett's forgiven him, that should be it. But
that should be the indicator.
I think it's kind of inexcusable. You can leave, it's fine, but you don't go play with LeBron.
Yeah.
Especially like you just lost to him in Game 7. It's not like Rondo where Rondo has bounced around the league and found his way over to the Lakers, which still is frowned upon, but I don't know. That's neither here nor there.
No, yeah, I agree. Hype for Steph Curry. Shout out to him. Obviously, changed the game, like you said. We can get into some Celtics talk though. We haven't talked since. Was it before or after the Lakers game? It was
before. It was on the weekend. It was right after Portland. So there have been a week worth of games, and you were at the game yesterday, Jack. So
I was.
Give us your experience. We'll discuss that. Then we'll get into last week. We don't have to discuss the whole game. We can go back, just tell us how
we can start with the positives. Obviously, excuse me, the Bucks game. I was at the game. I thought it was great.
Where'd you sit?
Balcony. You know me. I'm not paying.
Baseline, sideline.
Corner. So it was a decent view. Paid
how
around
many rows up?
Less than $50. I was like row 7 in the balcony. It wasn't bad at all.
Not bad.
Less than $50 for tickets against the Bucks, which was
really
great. Obviously,
that's good.
Yeah, not bad. I'm going to the game a week from today as well. Sixers game that was just over 50, so around the same price. Not bad either.
That's Monday.
Yeah, a week from Monday. Sorry.
Yes.
It's a good one. So Bucks game was good. I liked what I saw. I mean, everyone saw what Tatum did. Love Grant. You know me and my bias. He was amazing.
Well, he's been great.
Mm-hmm.
This is becoming for me a tryout for next year's team. And I guess you could say so far you've got obviously Tatum and Brown making the team, and Grant, and maybe Josh Richardson. To me, I don't know why. I just think he's really been really good. He's come off the bench. He's been a good ball handler. He's been pretty good at finishing around the rim. He's good with the offense.
Good defender.
I think Marcus is fringe. If they want to do something drastic, he's expendable. I think Rob is another one that's like fringe expendable. Horford too, because of his contract. Like the rest, like besides really the top 3 that I mentioned, the rest.
We've come so far. Not that you ever hated on Grant, but just in general.
I never hated on Grant.
I know. I'm just
saying. This is a general thing, I guess.
Grand scheme of things, yes.
I always thought Grant was fine. But these 3 guys at the top, I guess, are safe in their role. It just depends, because I'm not so sure. I would say like Romeo's safe, just because of the roles. But then like if they want to trade,
you want to make this a tier list, Sam? So who would be in like S tier, as in not going to be traded?
Tatum, Brown, Grant.
Okay, I'll write this down. Tatum, Brown, Grant. That's your S tier.
We can review this every week, actually.
All right, I'll keep this.
I like this. Yeah, let's review this every week, because this is kind of important. Because more than anything, I think that's what the season might end up being, with how inconsistent the team's been. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So S tier is Tatum, Brown is in Grant.
Yep.
A tier.
Okay, so I think right now, Rob Williams is there.
Okay.
Richardson is there. Okay. Smart is there.
Is this your how good they've been, or how much you need to keep them for next season? Because I feel like it's different.
I think it's both. To me, because, well, it's more of how much I think they fit going forward, I guess. Because I think Schroeder's been pretty decent, and he's not going to be in this tier. I know there's like, like philosophical reasons, I guess, if that's the word you want to use, like
financial,
fit,
realistic reasons.
well, yes,
or not
all
real.
that.
I know what you're saying. Yes, continue,
like
sorry.
even fit, like I mean, saying like he's been good, like he's been visually good, but there are things that he causes problems.
I didn't like him against the Bucks yesterday.
No, he's bad yesterday. He was bad.
I'm just saying, and I've been saying this. If Brown is playing, which obviously you want, Schroeder's not going to play well. That's the correlation. That's the eye test for me, Sam. You're all eye test. That's my eye test.
Okay.
So.
All right. So let's see. We've got the top three, and then the next tier: Rob, Richardson, Marcus,
Smart.
who has improved quite a bit since the slow start. 11 assists, no turnovers.
Yep.
He's not really chucking a lot. He did take a couple threes yesterday.
He only took like 6 shots. 6 shots.
Yeah, that's plenty. And then
Anybody
I think
else in A
Horford's on that list too. It just those guys on that list are like, I guess, expendable for the right person. That's like if you're really getting that big third piece. I guess a name you throw out is Beal, even though I don't really know how realistic it is or care that much for it or whatever.
He did say recently that he's not going to ink an extension because he does need to like look at things. So
yeah, well there you
for
go.
you.
So if you have to sign and trade for him, they're gonna have to like trade somebody to match. And then
all right,
people I don't.
tier?
Well, I also put Romeo in the A tier too because I'm not sure how.
Okay, he was good against the Bucks. He had some solid minutes.
You know, he's going to get minutes going forward. It just depends if they want to get rid of him. I think he fits if nothing drastic shifts.
Yeah,
he'll probably continue to improve and get more minutes. So now you've got Schroeder, who I have enjoyed watching, but he's not going to be here next year, more likely than not.
Yep, B tier. Okay.
Who am I missing?
A lot of players you're missing.
I know.
Neesmith, Pritchard,
Well,
Jabari
no,
Parker,
I'm trying to think like real like solidified rotation guys.
I think you got them all right. Tatum, Brown, Grant, Rob, Smart, Horford, J. Rich.
Okay, so Schroeder's on that tier by himself, and then C is Neesmith, Pritchard.
Okay, Neesmith, Pritchard.
Maybe Hauser.
Really?
Because he's been playing really well in the G League. And
all right, I'll put him on C tier.
He made a shot yesterday.
He did make a shot yesterday.
And he kind of looks like Bird out there, like physically how he looks, like with his hair and his skin and his unathleticism.
All right, so that's your C tier.
And then you've got
Pritchard, Hauser.
Fernando.
Is this
Parker.
D tier now?
Yeah, this is the next one.
Okay, D tier.
Guys that aren't even playing. Maybe
Bruno,
Parker, Fernando, Hernan Gomez. Actually, Hernan Gomez is below this one. I think he's been horrible.
F tier Juancho.
Yeah. You've got, let's see, Parker, Fernando. I'll keep saying, I guess.
Yep.
The other kid. What the hell is this guy's last name?
Broderick Thomas.
Yeah, him, Thomas.
All right. Broderick Thomas. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're missing a player. And I can't think.
Oh, this is no good.
Off the top. Oh, we're fake. We're so fake. Shit. Celtics roster. It's gonna hit me like a truck and I'm gonna be excuse me, angry. Oh, and it's Freedom.
Oh, Freedom. Well, I'm not so sure he's going to stick around. He's on that same level with those guys.
With the Bruno, Parker, etc.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll go over these for you for this week. S tier, which is must keep, is Brown, Tatum, Grant for you.
I think those guys have solidified a spot. So you're probably not going to see Grant move down unless he really falls off a cliff.
Yeah.
And the other two, I don't think are going to fall down off that level.
Yeah. Okay.
But I also don't think you are going to see a lot of people move up. You know, it's going to be hard. It's going to take a lot.
Okay. A tier is players you would trade for the right price. And if it comes to it, Robert Williams, J. Rich, Smart, Horford, and then Romeo's like kind of fringe between the two. Like A and B, like the next two.
Yes. Yeah.
And then B is Schroeder by himself.
Yeah.
C is Neesmith, Pritchard, and Hauser. D is Bruno Fernando, Parker, Broderick Thomas, and his Freedom. And F is Juancho.
Yes. Do you agree for the most part?
Yeah, I think I definitely have some bias with Grant, but I'm hyped that you put him there, so it makes
Well,
it
I
less
just
sus
think
that I put him there.
he plays an important role. He has been
Yes.
your best shooter on a team that has no shooting. He's top 7 in the league.
Yeah.
He can rebound. He can somewhat defend low. He can kind of defend everywhere. He's decent enough, and I'm sure he's going to improve that. So I just think there's a lot of room for him to improve, and he's already making himself an important piece on this team. I'm not saying it means he's part of a big three. I just think he's somebody, if you're building a winning team, in today's league, he's a typical type of player you need, and you have him, and he's really rising.
Yeah. I think my list might be a bit more harsh than yours. So, I mean, I can do my list here too, and you can react, and you can,
Okay.
give your thoughts as
do
well.
that.
So, my S tier would be just Tatum and Brown. I love Grant, but my S tier, I think, would be just Tatum and Brown if you're talking about guys you absolutely need to keep for the crucial success of the Celtics. My A tier would be Rob, Will, and Grant, and that's it.
Okay.
Grant, and I'm really high on Rob still. He's struggled these last few games, I think, in my opinion.
I don't really think he struggled yesterday. I think he was fine. They decided that Horford and Grant were the better fits at the end of the game.
Which was a good decision.
It was a good decision. But he still looked good in his minutes. He was fine.
Yeah, he was solid. My B tier then, I think, would be I'm gonna put Smart, even though I'm slowly, and I don't want to lose friends here because our buddy Andrew, who we had last week, who I've like to consider a Celtics friend at this point. I'm lower on Smart than I have been in a while. Even he's been playing great.
I understand why. I feel that.
In my head, I think obviously you're not going to get someone who can play as elite defense as Marcus Smart. There aren't many players like that in the league. He's, I would say, a top 10 defender in the NBA, top 5 on the perimeter. He's elite. Do you think this Celtics team becomes that much significantly worse on defense without Marcus Smart? Because I don't. I mean, obviously they'll be worse because you don't have Smart. But I think you can find, and I don't have any suggestions, so I hate to be that guy because I don't have anybody to give you. I mean, I can search, but you don't I'd go through the contracts, etc. I think the Celtics could find somebody who could still play solid defense. Obviously, like I said, you're not going to find someone who can be a solid facilitator because as good as he is, 11 assists is great, but he's averaging 6, which is good, but who can also shoot the ball better. And I think that's the key. And obviously there's more to the game than shooting. I've made this argument defending Smart time and time again, and I don't think you need to trade him. I don't think Smart sucks, get him out of here. I'm just saying I don't think he's at that, untouchable point where most Celtics fans have had him over the past year. If that makes sense.
No, I agree, and I think the reason that it's tough to consider moving him is because I just don't think you're going to get something back that's worth it.
Yeah.
Unless he's part of one of those big trades, which is why I have him where I have him, right? And I also think it's easier to be down on him because next year his extension will kick in. So you're really starting to think, he's going to be getting paid a lot of money. Is he really giving you bang for your buck? If the team's not winning, how much do the winning plays matter? That kind of thing. If this team was really rolling, those plays he makes would really stand out more because you'd be able to point to them as maybe turning points during games or, big stops or, that was really.
And he's had a couple of them, but
well, he had a bunch of them against the Clippers and they lost.
But they didn't,
and we don't remember. You won't remember in a month or two.
Yes, I agree with you. I'm going to throw Horford on B tier too, but he's real close to C tier. Not because I don't like Horford, but I'm personally am a fan of Grant-Rob pairing rather than Horford-Grant pairing, although there are times for Horford. Greeny put out a tweet yesterday, and he was the pairing or the lineup of Smart, the Jays, Horford, and Rob is a negative 32 net rating. Or Grant and Horford is a negative 32 or something. And then Smart, the Jays, Grant, and Rob is plus 32. You know what I'm saying? So I just am a fan of that pairing more so than Horford. Plus you take into account his contract, his age. Love Horford. He's been great this season. I just think he's much more expendable in the long haul. I'm going to put Romeo on C tier. I'm going to put I think Jay Rich on C tier as well, just because it sounds too harsh to put him at D. And this isn't like how good I think they've been, because I think Jay Rich has been better than C tier. I'm saying like moving forward, I think you could trade Romeo and Jay Rich, and I don't think the Celtics team would be that deeply affected by it, because I think you'd get something closer or equal value at least in return.
That is true. However, I think if you want to move from Smart, Richardson makes it easier. Because he does a lot of the same things, and he plays pretty good defense.
He does. I would agree with you there. And I would say he's probably a slightly better shooter. Not like by a landslide, but...
no, he's definitely a better offensive player overall. He's good at creating shots for himself, which is not necessarily something Marcus will do. But I think, and it's a process, it's not going to happen in a day, but Marcus is kind of improving quite a bit in his play style, his decision-making.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's 11 assists, 0 turnovers last night is great, and it seems like he's trying to take more shots inside.
Yes, and he's making the extra passes, which I've been saying for weeks, and that's so key. That's so key.
And I think that's important because it shows you his commitment to the team, which might sound silly, but like you can see it in front of your eyes without looking that hard that he's
trying to adapt. He's
very much changing his game, trying to do what they want him to do.
Couldn't agree more. D tier, I have Nesmith and PP because like
they just haven't gotten any
tough.
Run.
It's tough,
and when they have, they've been bad.
Yes, and then F tier, I've got Bruno, Parker, Broderick, and Freedom, and I put Wancho F- just because he's F-. I made up a tier for him. He's got to go. But I have Schroder D tiers or F tier.
Okay.
Between F and D. My gripe with Schroder is something I've explained to you plenty of times. When he touches the ball, I can just stop watching the shot clock till there's like 8 seconds left on it. Right? Which is fine, but like in theory it's fine because you're like, oh, they're working to get a good shot. That's why it took them so long. It's not that. It's Schroder dribbling the ball, playing a 2-man game with the big, and that's the offense, which is not fun. And you saw the reflection of that. How many minutes did he play last night? Because it was significantly less than normal, and for good reason, because he was bad. And the Celtics looked infinitely better when Schroder was not playing yesterday. Correct? Would you agree with me in that?
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'm a Schroder guy, I guess. I do completely agree with all the negatives. You know. Yeah. But something for me that he's just so fast and he can get to the basket and makes things easier.
But he doesn't play like it. He doesn't play fast.
He hasn't been lately. There was a period where he was doing that, which was when he was at his best. And for some reason he stopped. Maybe he's really like having, he hurt his ankle, tweaked it a couple times. Maybe it's affecting him. I don't know. I mean, you don't necessarily know these things, but okay, if you don't have it, doesn't mean you have to sit on the ball. You're absolutely right.
Schroder played 25 minutes yesterday. That's the least he's played since the Chicago game, and the third least minutes he's played all season. Like, he was not good, and I think you're seeing these reports too, right? Like that they're open to trading him, blah blah blah, all this.
I'm not reading into that too much. I think that's more of common sense telling you his contract's valuable. He's not someone they're going to be able to pay. It's the same speculation that we've done.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't think any source is telling anybody that, like someone from the Celtics is saying, we're going to trade him. I don't think that's happening. I think that's people that understand what the situation is telling you what they think is going to happen.
Okay. Well, regardless, I mean... I
don't think it's going to strike midnight tonight and turn Wednesday and he's going to be traded in the morning.
No, but I do think he'll be traded.
And I was talking to Tim about this yesterday. I have no problem with trading Schroder if you're doing it for the right reason. So to me, the right reason is more of your views on his play. How you said, he's stopping the ball. He's not being a good fit with the offense, this, that, right? I don't want them to trade him just because they want to get value for him. Not that there's anything wrong with trying to get value out of what you have, but I feel like especially if you do it sooner rather than towards the deadline, you're waving a white flag.
I understand
unless you truly feel like what you're getting back is going to help you more. It's dumb to say now because really you're not necessarily trying to win a title this year, but you still want to compete. I don't think you should be trying to tank per se. This is still a team that's mostly young. Some of these guys have been on deep runs, some have not. It never hurts to get more of that.
My thing is, you know my stance on trading him to get value. I think that's the smart play, but that's just because we think differently. The version of the Celtics that played the Bucks yesterday has a real shot to make a super deep playoff run. Would you agree with that?
I completely. Yesterday is the team that I told you would start 8-0. It's the team that I thought could push for the 1 seed. Which still, if you really get your shit together, is not out of the realm of possibility.
And
with how tight is.
My point is that team could have won that game without Dennis Schroder, and I think arguably would have had an easier time winning the game without Dennis Schroder.
I am very not good at realizing those kind of things, which I will own up to. I'll
put it this way: he went
unless someone's out there really killing them.
2 for 10.
Really.
He shot 2 for 10.
He had a bad game.
1 for 5, and this is an advanced stat. Obviously, it doesn't mean much. Game score is basically. Have you heard of game score?
Yeah, it's like every
your,
stat has a certain score to it, and you add it all up, and how much it factors into a win. Like I have heard of it. Yes,
I'll put it this way: it was his second lowest game score of the season, and the second time all year he's had one below 1, and the other one was the San Antonio game. So that tells you how minuscule of an impact he had on that win. And the Celtics won by 14. And I mean, here's another one. This is easy. What was his plus minus? I bet you it wasn't very good. Yeah, it was a 0 plus minus and a 14-point win. For comparison, Jaylen Brown's was 20, Marcus Smart 10, Al Horford 25, Jason Tatum 21. That's crazy. That's crazy.
But you could say there are a lot of games they won because of him. Too.
Yes.
I mean, he's played well.
But only because Jaylen Brown was hurt. And I understand you need the backup plan, and Schroeder's a great backup plan, but when Brown is healthy, he, I would say, I think he hurts the team, in my opinion. And again,
I can see where you come from on that. I think it would be, okay, so I guess what I'm really getting at is I would really like to see them work, because they haven't had a lot of time all playing together, work to get everybody playing together the best they can before they trade him. Don't just do it to do it. Work
I agree
because Schroeder has showed you he can be a valuable player. Obviously, the other two guys are great. And you're absolutely right with, Schroeder has not been as productive when Brown's in the lineup. Okay, great. Now you need to figure out, and this is Ime's job, how can you make it work? To the best, maybe it doesn't work. To the best of your abilities, make it work. And if you really feel like it's not working, then you sell him.
And I would argue he tried it yesterday. And I'll explain my theory.
It's really one game. I throw the first Brown comeback out because he really wasn't himself.
No. I was going to talk very specifically about the game. You see the way it progressed, right? Schroeder came off the bench, which was good. And when he did come off the bench, they took out both of the Jays. So they could let Schroeder, because in my opinion, I don't think he works as well with one of them on the floor because he needs the ball so much. So they were like, okay, Schroeder, in order to use him to his fullest effect, let's put him on the floor with other guys around him. I don't remember the exact lineup. I think Smart was out there. I think Grant was out there. I think Romeo was out there. And maybe it was Rob or Al, probably one of the bigs. And that lineup sucked. You saw it at the end of the first quarter. They lost bad, right? Because, I mean, obviously Schroeder had a rough shooting night, but the correlation of when Brown plays, Schroeder plays bad is so clear. In this first sample size. And last night showed it again, and they even gave him, spoon-fed him an opportunity to, be the sixth man everyone wants him to be. And again, one game, like you said, but I'm going to keep saying it till he does something good in a Jaylen Brown / Jason Tatum combined
It's fair.
Game. But
it's warranted criticism.
Yeah.
I think if you clock strikes midnight, you trade him, he's finally eligible, you traded, blah, blah, blah. and you trade him the first day, I think it says you're quitting. Unless you really get something remarkable back.
I don't
which
think it
not
says you're
going
quitting
to.
because I think they're.
I do. Unless you really, really feel like you cannot be successful with him on your team to any degree. I don't mean successful winning a title. I mean successful being around the level you should be at. Then fine, trade him. But if you aren't sure yet, I don't think it's wise.
I'm looking up some stats real quick because I want to see if my theory, proves to be true. Shoot. Jaylen Brown. I want to find Dennis Schroder's stats. Or Dennis Schroder's stats when Jaylen Brown plays. Because I bet you money that they're so significantly down. I can't find it, but I don't have time to go through right now. But I'm trying to think, and I know you don't like talking, very specific trades, but is there anything around the league you would deem okay to get back for Schroder? Like, what would you be looking for in a deal that would make it okay to trade Schroder away, in your opinion? Because
I think at this point in the season, it's very hard because you don't know what's out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when that deadline comes, there's a lot of people selling. You know, you could get something that might fit your team better. You will have seen more time of sample size. You know, have they figured it out at all? If they have, is he still a problem? If he is, okay, what can you get back that fills the biggest need on your team? I couldn't tell you what it is because I don't know.
Shooting, in my opinion.
No. I mean at that time. Whatever it is.
I think it's still always going to be
It's probably shooting. Okay, fine. What are you going to get back?
Yeah.
Which is what you asked me.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. And that's a fair argument to make. I mean, I think you could look around the league and
I don't think picks is a good answer.
I think you could get something in like a couple seconds. Which I know you don't think seconds are anything.
What do you want with seconds? What are you going to do? You're going to have him watch the game like Pritchard Neesmith?
Sam, I'll tell you this.
Or Hauser?
How did the Celtics get Evan Fournier a couple years ago?
With a single second-round pick for free, yes.
They were exactly. So you get more of those seconds, and you can move them with these giant fucking TPEs the Celtics have. That's the key right there.
That TPE expires this summer, so you've got little time to use it.
Hey, that's why you get the seconds, and then you ship the seconds off, right? You immediately flip them, and that's where the value is, in my opinion. I mean, hell, maybe the Cavs want another ball handler. You get Colin Sexton.
Right. Well, there you go.
That doesn't help you this season, but hey, can I interest you in Kevin Knox, Sam?
I don't think so. I don't think. See, like that's the kind of thing. Like you're just waving the white flag if you do that. Unless you really think he's a good player, you know. If you're Brad,
I have seen that the Hawks are looking to deal Cam Reddish for a first.
See, that is something that you entertain.
So you say, hey, we'll give you Dennis Schroder in a couple seconds, and you give us Cam Reddish.
Well, isn't he a free agent? Isn't there more complications to that? Like they don't think he's going to re-sign or whatever.
He's got a team option next year, and then he would be free agent. But at that point, I'm like.
But you're still, if you're giving up Schroder, that's worth it. There's a difference. So there you go. That if you get like a young player that you feel like has potential, which I'm not sure what the consensus on Reddish is. I know when the Celtics played them, they were kind of saying he was having like a sporadic year where
I love Reddish.
He was either good or bad. Yeah. And he of course was good against the Celtics. But I'm fine with that. If you're getting the right thing back for him, it's fine. It's just like don't trade him just to trade him.
I understand that. And other names I have here, Dante DiVincenzo is one I saw thrown around, but I don't know why the Bucks would do that.
I don't think Milwaukee would do that, but if that's on the table, you do it.
Mm-hmm. Bryn Forbes, I would do as well, but that's another.
What's his contract? How long? And
he's done. He would be off after this year too, but I think he fits better. That's just
he shoots better.
Yeah, that's just an opinion thing. Jalen Smith, but I don't love that either. I don't think he's great.
Well, they were rumored to want to draft him.
They were, but the Suns also just declined his team option.
Well, there you
so
go.
he's probably out. Past that, I don't see much here.
Most of those are okay.
Yeah, Dorian Finney-Smith is another guy I can think of. Daniel House, but I don't know why the Rockets would want him. Rockets.
Why
are
is he still on
nasty
that
now.
team?
Rockets are nasty now, Sam. Don't sleep.
Yeah, all of a sudden. Well, the Celtics are done with him, so they can be as good as they want.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't mind some of those. I don't know if the Hawks would entertain it. Actually, I don't think the Hawks would do it. Because I don't think Reddish wants to go back to Atlanta. Or Schroeder wants to go back to Atlanta. I don't think they ended well.
You don't think so?
No. Nah, I don't think so. What about Marvin Bagley? Could I entertain you in a Marvin Bagley?
I don't know. See, like, that's a complicated thing because I don't know that much about him. I just know he's not playing, and there's some reason he's not playing.
He is playing now. He's been playing under because they fired Luke Walton.
Has he been any good?
He's been okay. He's averaging.
Do you think they need him? Can he shoot?
He can't shoot.
I don't think they need another big guy that can't shoot.
Yeah.
Especially,
I
I think
agree.
your front court is really saturated with Horford being, really better than you probably thought he would be. Williams, both of them being really good. So,
excuse me. Did you hear that? Brooklyn is entertaining offers for Joe Harris.
really, well, his contract's a lot of money.
Fits into the TPE, Sam.
Does it fit?
Does it? What is the TPE? Is it 17.7 or 17.1?
It's like barely 17. I think it's 1.
Never mind. He makes 17.3.
Oh my. Yeah, but even then, like going forward, you handcuff yourself if you do that.
Yeah, you do.
I do think it helps though, and I think Joe Harris is one of those guys that moves well off the ball. And this is something I talked with Tim about
desperately
on the pod,
need that.
or the
Desperately.
pod pregame. Tim was mentioning basketball IQ the other day, and I think that's a big part of it. Like, that's probably part of the reason Nesmith doesn't make as many shots because, moving off the ball gets those guys into a rhythm. It's not
And
just...
he tries. Nesmith tries. He's just not very...
He tries his very best.
I
It's
did
one
write
thing
up-
you can say about Nesmith is that guy tries.
I did write up
Regardless.
a big Celtics trade. It wasn't a Celtics trade. It was a Knicks trade that the Celtics would be involved in, a 3-team deal. And I'll get your thoughts on it before we move on to our... we can talk a little bit more than wrap up. This kind of just devolved into us talking, which is, I guess, what a podcast is. But
It's usually that's how we used to do it back in the day.
yeah, we just kind of chill, and this is good. This is fun. I hope everyone's listening is enjoying. But the trade is a Knicks, Celtics, Kings trade. The Knicks would get De'Aaron Fox. And do you want me to frame? I always struggle how to frame these trades. Do you want me to frame it as what the Celtics would get versus what the Celtics would give up first? That way, it's just like more concise.
For the
Or do you want me
Celtics,
to
yeah.
read it first? Okay.
No, Celtics are giving this. They're getting this.
Okay. Celtics give up Dennis Schroder, Josh Richardson, Romeo Langford, 2 unprotected first-round picks, and they might have to throw in like a PP or a Nesmith too. So
What are they getting healed?
Healed Derrick Rose and Kevin Knox.
Derrick Rose. For Schroeder, Richardson, and
Schroeder, Richardson, Romeo, probably
man.
Nesmith or PP and 2 first-rounders.
See, I think he's equal to or better to Schroeder.
Yep, and then Healed, I would say, is
And
better to Jay Rich.
He's a better shooter, but he doesn't play defense.
He's not a better shooter. He is 10%
He's
better.
absolutely a better
incredible.
shooter. Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
This definitely hurts defense, improves the team, in my opinion.
I would do that. So New York's getting Fox.
Fox and Schroeder. And the Kings get Josh Richardson, Romeo Langford, Nesmith or PP, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickley, Quentin Grimes, and 3 unprotected firsts.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I would do that. I would do that in a heartbeat. Derrick Rose has been playing really well. As soon as you come here, the training staff get their hands on him. His knees would go out. But he's been great. Healed would be great. It would be an interesting fit with the Jays. How, it would be nice to have some shooting, right?
Yeah.
And if you really want to screw around, you can bring him off the bench and just have him score.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these, I got a ton of Knicks fans commenting saying, no, this is crap. McBride,
Well, what are the Knicks giving up?
They give up, excuse me.
Quickly,
They give up
Toppin, Derrick Rose.
Toppin, Quickly, Grimes, and a first, and Kevin Knox, who doesn't play, for De'Aaron Fox and Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, I would do that if I'm the Knicks.
I would too. I originally had RJ Barrett in the trade, but I thought that was too
Yeah,
much.
if RJ Barrett's not in it, you're really not losing much there. All right,
That's what-
Quickly's
so-
fine. Rose has been good for you, but Schroeder's been good for the Celtics, and they'll play the same role.
The way I
Fox
see it is
will be helpful for you for your future. You can play with Randall and Barrett.
Mhm. The way I see it is you're getting an upgrade Derrick Rose to De'Aaron Fox. You're getting, I would say probably an upgrade quickly to Schroeder. The issue being you can't bring Schroeder back, but Fox is under contract for 5 years. Then you have RJ, Randall, Fox for the next 3, 4,
And you have
5
the
years.
market where people will probably come play for you.
You still have Nerlens Noel. You still have Evan Fournier.
Robinson.
Yeah.
You have
Alec
all the
Burks
guys
still.
who are important to your team besides Derrick Rose. I don't know what's the big deal.
Yeah. I agree. I had everybody down here saying, like, no, not at all. Like, this is ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. This guy goes, wouldn't mind getting Fox for, like, Fournier, Rose, Walker, and a pick. Why would Sacramento do that? Like, in what world would Sacramento do that? And I still think this trade, like, is iffy from Sacramento's point of view. Like, I think
they're
would
not
want
getting that much
RJ.
back. I don't think any of those guys, maybe Quickly, but besides him, I don't think really they're getting anything great.
I think Toppin's good. I think Quentin Grimes has potential to be good. And I think Romeo would be okay too. And then
I forgot about Romeo.
yeah. This, in my opinion, would be signaling we're going to rebuild. Here's the keys, Tyrese Halliburton. Here you go, Davion Mitchell. Let's invest a little bit more in Marvin Bagley, give some young guys, and then 3 unprotected first is big boy. Like that's a lot. That's a lot of picks.
If they find a way, I mean, Halliburton's a point guard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Primarily a point guard, so him and Fox kind of have to figure that one out. I mean, if they decide they want to stick with Fox, I would be very interested in seeing what Halliburton costs. He's a good player, and he looks like Tatum. Wouldn't that be funny?
I don't even remember where I saw it. I saw some, crazy Celtics trade the other day. It was
Was it from Chris Gasper? Was it the one? I think I heard about this. They get healed in Halliburton and they give up
Brown.
I think Brown was in it, yeah, which I wouldn't do.
Where did I see this? Because now I need to know. It was
WCVB.
It was crazy.
Chris Gasper.
It was huge. Okay, yeah. Hold on, let me let me look here. I thought I saw it on Twitter. Welcome to the tangent, listener. Excuse me. Sports. Oh God, bro. People need to make websites better. These websites are awful. Like, make it easy to fucking navigate, please. I can't remember for the life of me where I saw it. Shoot. I can't find anything here. Yeah, I don't know where I saw it. Maybe I bookmarked it on Twitter. It was like Ben Simmons goes to Sacramento. Ben Simmons goes to Sacramento. Jaylen Brown and I think Schroeder go to Philadelphia. Excuse me. Celtics get like Buddy Hield, Tyrese Halliburton. They got someone else too, though, which is pissing me off. I can't remember. But yeah, anyways, I'll try to look for this for a little bit. But yeah, so if you're trading Schroeder, you want somebody who can make a better impact and is a better fit for this season.
Yeah, at least this season. I just think I don't think you want to give up on the season. That's not me saying I think they can win a title. I just think they could be fun. I think the team is closer to what you saw yesterday than what you've been seeing. I just think they should be able to play at that level more often. They don't do it. I think it's really embarrassing that they lost all 3 of those games last week. You should have showed up against the Lakers at the very least. If you lose, you lose, but you didn't even try. You didn't even show up. You didn't play hard in a rivalry game.
Did you hear Tatum's quote last night after the Bucks game?
Was it about what?
He basically was
Go
quoted
ahead.
saying exactly what you just said. He said, "We don't mind losing, but you got to give yourself a chance. In those 3 games, we just didn't give ourselves a chance."
Well, he's right. That Lakers game is inexcusable to me. How you do not get up for that game is beyond me. Okay, then you come out the next night in a bounce back spot against a Clippers team with no one playing for them and you lose. And then you lose to a Phoenix team with no one but Chris Paul playing for them and JaVale McGee scores 21 points, grabs 15 rebounds, and you lose by a lot. It's not even close. I mean, the Lakers game is the hardest game on that slate. Yeah. And that's not a hard game. And you lost all three, and you gave bad effort in all three. Mm-hmm. That is keeping me from enjoying the win yesterday. Because I truly am just baffled that they did that. I didn't think they were going to show up yesterday either, and they did. And I'm glad they did.
I had a good feeling they were going to win yesterday for some reason. I predicted a win.
Yeah, so my buddy did too. He kept telling me to bet him, and I was like, I don't know, man. I don't trust
Did you bet him?
Right no, I didn't.
Unfortunately.
I mean, I'm glad he won. I don't care. I didn't lose. I just didn't play. I didn't think. It's hard to bet on the Celtics because you don't know what team's going to show up, and that's the problem.
I agree with you. Yeah, I can't find the trade. I did find this trade from Bleacher Report. Celtics give up Jaylen Brown, Robert Williams, get Karl Anthony Towns, and I know you're a big Cat
Jaylen
guy.
Brown. So. Yeah, but I think if you bring in Cat, he's going to be the third guy.
Yeah, that's also fair. But I don't think Minnesota's going to do that move anytime soon.
I don't think so either. I think, they're actually playing decent basketball this year, too.
Yeah, they are. Also, speaking of decent basketball, another tangent. Are you in on the Cavaliers now? Just totally random.
I think they're going to peter out. I think if they were healthy, you'd have to really consider being in on them. But without Sexton, it's tough.
I think they're better really without Sexton right now.
Buy into it.
They're better without him now.
I don't know. I don't think they're. I'll put it like this: I don't think it's a team the Celtics should lose games to.
Okay. I mean, whatever. Fair enough. They are, I think, 17-12 right now. So I
think they're like 7 or 8. I know what they. No. I mean, at the end of the year, that's what I think they'll be. I know they're fourth now, and they're 17-12.
Excuse me.
But
yeah, no, I love the Cavs. I think they're.
I think they'll end up being 7 or 8.
Okay, that's fair. Are you in on the Grizzlies? Another random one. Are you there?
No, I don't know anything about what's going on with the Grizzlies, so I can't give you an answer. I know they're about the same record as the Celtics.
Yeah, they've won. Let me look here. There's a crazy stat. They are. Yeah, and this is their last 9 games: 27-point win, 7-point win, 73-point win, 7-point win, 15-point win, loss, 13-point win, 7-point win, 35-point win, and that's all without Ja Morant. Ja Morant has not played.
Well, he's obviously a cancer.
Yeah,
they should trade him for Schroder.
Obviously. We didn't talk much about the West Coast road trip. I don't think we need to. I think we can just put that behind us. I mean, you ranted about it actually.
What I said is how I feel. I think it's embarrassing. The Jazz game is excusable. Okay, you really probably gave your best punch, one of your best games of the season, and you just lost because they shot crazy. Mike Conley was 7 for 7, whatever. You go out in Portland, you play really well, and then that last week is just inexcusable to me. I'll say it again. How on earth you do not get up for that Lakers game is beyond me. You already beat them at the Garden. You need a win. You're finally trying to get your team together and finally win some games and string wins together, and you don't even show up. Tatum was the only guy that had him in the first half.
Yeah.
You come out the next night, you lose to a kid that had 54 points before that game, and then he scores half of his whole season total, 27.
Career total.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. And then you let JaVale McGee have 21 and 15 against you in Phoenix? What is happening? That's unacceptable basketball.
Funny fact. Last night, that same Clippers team without Paul George beat that same Suns team without D-Book and Aiden, which I just thought was entertaining.
They beat somebody. Oh, did they lose to the Magic Clippers?
Who?
Last week?
Let me look real quick. I can find it. They beat the Magic by 2 a couple days ago. But yeah, they've won 4 in a row now. So
let's try and go through it. I tried doing this with Tim yesterday. I definitely forgot some. Okay, we'll go back in time. So we'll go JaVale McGee, Brandon Boston. We'll throw Westbrook in there because he's a bum. Okay, so we'll go back. Mike Conley. I don't think he's a bum, but I think that was a really ridiculous game he played.
Are you just looking at losses?
No.
Okay.
I'll get there. I'm trying to go through my
Yeah.
head. Nobody really played crazy in the Philly game.
Mm-hmm. Shake Milton, kind of.
Yeah, but he wasn't
that was
crazy.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You know,
Before
it wasn't like annoying, and he cooled
I know
off
what you're
in
saying.
the second half.
Before that was Toronto.
Toronto, that game was fine. They don't really have anybody on the team that really like goes ridiculous, unless Barnes is like fringe, I guess, but he's been pretty consistent.
Svi Mykhailiuk pops off. That'll piss you off.
Right, he's typically done that. Okay, who's before that?
San Antonio.
Okay, Keldon Johnson was far too good in that game.
DeJounte Murray was filthy too.
Yeah, but he's good.
Yeah, but he had 20. He had 29 and 12.
Not that Keldon Johnson is some scrub, but he had a 16-point double.
He had 17 and 14. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Before that Nets game.
Nets.
Hit me with it,
Patty Mills.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 6.
Rockets.
That was a blowout win. Nothing really happened. But the first Rockets game, we'll say Jalen Green because that was ridiculous. He didn't miss. Okay.
Yep.
Let me try and do it without your help.
Okay.
Because I want to do it off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here we are. I'm struggling.
That was a Thunder. Sorry, I'm just gonna tell you.
Thunder. Nobody was really ridiculous in that game either.
Nope. Before that
was Lakers. They blew them out.
Yep.
That was fine.
Before that was a loss.
They lost. Oh, it was a bad loss too.
It was an 11-point loss, but it was really worse than that. It was. You want me to tell you the teams?
Ricky Rubio is on the list. He played ridiculous.
Yep. Atlanta's the game you missed.
Atlanta. Oh, okay. So you had
the
Reddish.
trio.
Reddish is on the list because they were saying how sporadic he was.
Herder
I think
and
Bogdanovich is good, but Herder can make the list because he played above probably where I think he plays. So that's 10 so far.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I mean, Luka's Luka.
Luka's fine, even though he had been poor up to that point.
Mm-hmm. Ricky Rubio,
Rubio was ridiculous. He did twice. That's 2 games for Rubio, so you're at 12 games where you've had some shenanigans.
Do you want to put anybody? From
Harrell, Montrezl Harrell, 2 games. There's 14 to you.
Anybody from the Bucks game on the list for you?
Grayson Allen.
Okay.
That was ridiculous. Okay. He sent the game into overtime single-handedly. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. I'm going to stop there because I'm probably really boring to listen to.
Some of those guys have had good seasons, but I understand your point. But
it's ridiculous. Like JaVale McGee having 21 and 15 against you was ridiculous.
That was bad.
Brandon Boston having 27 points against you was ridiculous. Jalen Green making like 8 of 8 from 3 against you was ridiculous. And this isn't even like me saying the Celtics should have done something about it. It's just like this keeps happening to this team.
Mm-hmm. And you obviously had, I'm sure you heard about the film session Udoka held after the West Coast trip.
Yes.
And everyone,
good.
I mean,
everything I hear about Udoka, I really like. So
I do as well.
Good on him.
And I wrote that piece, but I mean, showed over 100 clips. He basically said we showed Westbrook in the lane doing his antics. We showed LeBron, everyone moving out of his way. I mean, that's ridiculous. You can't do that. So I'm hyped to see that moving forward. And to wrap up the show, I mean, I'll just bring up Giannis and protocols. So be ready for the storm, Sam.
Oh, yeah. No. I meant to talk about that. Yeah.
You just touch upon it briefly, but yeah.
One, it's insane how this virus is like spreading like wildfire in the league.
I saw something today. It's Thanksgiving, probably. Everyone just went out and
Thanksgiving might be a good one, but like I don't know. It's going up everywhere. I don't know what it is. This new variant might be the real deal.
Omicron, yeah, and Delta.
It's like,
I've heard of the Delta one too.
Like what's it called? It's like when Jordan got drafted. Or no, let's say Magic and Bird because there's 2 of them.
There you go. But yeah, is there anything else you want to touch on quickly before we get out of here? We've been going for a little while.
No, I don't think there's anything I want to complain about. TNT, just be better with your national broadcast crews. Brian Anderson, I don't know him. I don't dislike him. I just think he's boring to listen to, and I think his calls are unmemorable. It really, I think it taints that Curry shot. It's like, it's just boring. Like he like freaks out like in the call, but like it's just boring. It doesn't do anything for me.
There you go. But yeah, that's all I got. That's all we got today. We'll probably be back later this week at some point. It's weird because the Celtics have like this huge 3-day gap, so got to go in between the games.
I do love the 3-day gap. I will say I need a little bit of a break.
It's good for me too. I can get some content out there, push some stuff. I got a couple. Brewing.
I don't write that much anymore, but I've been like on camera talking about the Celtics so much between the podcast and the pregame shows. And you do it more than I do usually, unless you're at the game. You're at every pregame show. There are days where I can't make it, or I'm tired, or I'm out, or whatever, and I don't make it. But you're on like almost every one if you're home, so you do it more than I do.
No, yeah, I mean, I love it, and I just said here the 3-day break's just an excuse for me to write more content. So I'll still be Celtics, but yeah, thank you guys for tuning.
Spider-Man on Thursday, and
there you go.
Truly cannot wait.
There you go. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Check out Bannertown USA on Twitter. Check out BannertownUSA.com. Follow me at Jack Simone NBA, and Sam, per usual, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening or watching, whatever you did. You may be watching on Guy Boston Sports YouTube today, depending if we, go that route. I know there's been discussions of putting our videos up there as well. That's where we do the pregame, so you can catch us there half hour before every game. A variety of Jack, Tim, KJ, or me will be there. Like, share, subscribe on YouTube, follow on whatever podcast streaming app you're listening on. You follow Jack on Twitter at JacksonNBA. Read his stuff on Celtics blog. He's a staff member there now. Congratulations to Jack. He works his ass off writing. He absolutely deserves it. So read his stuff. So you can follow Bannertown at Bannertown USA. And you can follow me at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's our show for later.